Hey guys, welcome back. In my previous video, I think it was 2 videos ago, I painted up my Hannya mask that I made out of resin, and I sort of suggested that I made a video of some of the problems I had with the paintwork and how I fixed them and stuff like that. So this video will be how I fixed the painting on that resin mask, because I had a few issues. So if you want to check out the issues, go back to my Hannya mask painting video and I've kind of explained what happened there. But just for a summary, the painting was having a hard time sticking to the resin for some reason. There was like certain parts. So as you can see here, there was certain parts behind the mask and a couple of parts on top of the head. I have a feeling it was something to do with the red paint. I used a golden paint by the brand Golden, and for some reason it didn't stick to certain parts of the resin, even though I primed it. So I don't know, maybe the resin was leaching something, or I don't know what happened, but I've only ever had this happen this one time with that golden paint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a nail polish remover, and it is an acetone free nail polish remover. So I know if you do any ball jointed doll face ups or anything, you don't use acetone because it can eat away at the resin. So yeah, go find yourself a acetone free nail polish remover, and it usually works a treat. So I just soaked up the cotton bud or cotton ball, I don't know what people call it, I call it a cotton ball in Australia. With that acetone free nail polish remover, and I just begin by wiping it off, much the same as any ball jointed doll face ups that you do, if anyone's into that. I have a couple of videos on my channel that have ball jointed doll face ups, but so similar sort of process, but I wanted the nail polish to actually remove any of that whatever was leaching out of the resin maybe. So yeah, spent a bit of time just cleaning up the paint job and all around the edges there. Spent a bit of time cleaning that up too, and I also sort of went over it a couple of times and washed it with water, and then went over it again with a couple of other cotton buds. So I didn't have an issue with the gold metallic paint. That one is by Jacquard and it's called Lumiere. Never had a problem with that with any resins or anything. Never had it coming off, never had it anything. So it's really, really good paint. It's just the golden paint for some reason was very sort of sticky, wouldn't dry. So yeah, just going over again, cleaning up the edges. The edges were a pretty troublesome bit because obviously the edges are a little rougher than the rest of the surface, so some of the paint kind of stuck in there. So it took a little bit more cleaning this time, and made sure that I also wash all of the excess paint and nail polish remover residue off, just so I know I can get a clean surface with the new paint job. And I didn't have any other issues anywhere else, just a few spots on the head where the hair is, which I actually painted red as well, so it could have had something to do with that paint, and I just painted over with the black paint. As for the back of the mask, the paint that I used for the black sort of paint, it was a very similar texture to the red paint, but it is by Matisse, Devian Matisse, whatever you say it. Which had the same sort of texture, so I don't know whether it has something in the ingredient, because that brown had sort of a little bit of brown pigmenting in it, so I'm assuming they've added like a tiny bit of red pigment, so it could be something to do with red pigment, who knows. So I don't exactly know what went on here. So just going over and seeing if I can pick up any loose bits of paint or any gummy bits of paint, and just wiping it off with that acetone free nail polish remover. So once I've cleaned it all off and I've given it a wash to make sure that nail polish remover is off and the resin is clean, I then went ahead and gave it a primer again with my, I just use a background primer for canvases. It works really well for resin pieces, I find, but you can use a whole lot of other primers, and I am working on a primer video too of the different primers that you can get, but I like to use this one. So what I did is I've just painted over in that white background paint primer and letting it dry. It also gives it a nice tooth, and then I'll go ahead and repaint it. I didn't have any problems with the repainting, so for some reason that first initial layer didn't actually take for some reason, but after a good clean with the nail polish remover and the water as well, I actually had no problems with it. But like I said in my previous video, I'm not going to sell this one just because in case it comes back, so I'm just going to display it on my wall in my house because I'm kind of like this onion mask. So I might make more in the future, but as for now, I have made to order masks in my shop at creaturesofnat.com. So I'm not going to really go through any of the painting process. You can head back to my other Hanya mask video where I painted it to check that out. Alright, and that is it from me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. If you have any video requests, you can leave it in the comments down below. You can also check me out on Instagram and Facebook at Creatures of Nat, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!